But guess what? A change is coming. Some warmer weather. But first, snow. Chief Meteorologist Amy Freeze is here with the first forecast. Amy.
Just a little bit. Live-power Doppler tracking a few flurries coming through the area. Snow will be in and around, but we're not expecting it to leave a big trace. By early tomorrow morning, maybe a dusting in some spots, but that's as good as it does. 15 degrees right now for Chicago. We started at 0 this morning. It's still going to be cold around here the next couple of nights. This is the snow cover we've got all across the Midwest. Areas in blue have more than 8 inches of snowfall. That includes O'Hare from our last big snowfall. So the snow depth really does make a difference for us because it keeps it cold right at the surface. So despite the sunshine that we're going to be having over the last couple of days, we've got plenty of snow on the ground, which is going to keep the temperatures at or below freezing through the middle of the week. However, as we get into the middle of the week, warmer air will be trying to make its way in. After 15 days of 32 degrees or colder, that's about as good as we could do at the end of December, was 32 degrees. We'll take this cold air and shove it back up to the north. It's going to be a midweek thaw. Temperatures go above freezing. It's going to feel mild around here, and the warmth of the sun is really going to make a difference. The 24-hour temperature change shows we're at least 30 degrees warmer through parts of the Midwest. That warm up is headed in our direction. I'll have more on this, how warm the numbers climb, and live-power Doppler tracking a little bit of snow in the area tonight. Doesn't really stick, may create a little dusting, so as you leave early tomorrow morning, make sure that you don't have any problems on the back deck or the front steps as far as creating slick surfaces, but it's not anything to shovel. Shed cam tonight looking at a live picture back over the city. It's been interesting as this little disturbance is bringing some snow into the area. Our temperatures are starting to come up, so just about the warmest it's been all day is where we are right now, which is in the middle teens. This is what we were forecasting late last week for the snow. This is not what's coming. This is what we forecasted last week. Wanted to revisit it because it talks about the snow that's on the ground. So that's what we forecasted. These were the actual totals. So pretty decent job with the forecast as it came through. 8 inches at O'Hare. I'm going to reverse back one more so you can see the forecasted amounts in those heavier bands near the lakefront, and that's actually what turned out for us. So this snow on the ground will keep us cold at the surface. Now some southwest winds are going to be blowing in, trying to warm us up, and that's what's happening tonight. Our temperatures are going to come up into the teens, so by the time you wake up, we'll say middle to upper teens. And the 24-hour temperature change, I think this shows it best. The warm air is coming up from the southwest, still hasn't gotten into northwest Indiana, but we're 20 degrees warmer in LaSalle than we were at this same time last night. So the southwest winds are going to have a big influence on our weather, but also the wind chill factor is still around. So while we're warming up, it still feels like 2 below at O'Hare. Kind of crazy. So the warm up's coming, temperatures will come up, and the sun will make it feel better, but it's not a heat wave by any means. We'll have to put up with temperatures in the teens for the early part of tomorrow, middle 20s by tomorrow afternoon, and then finally we'll get into the 30s by the middle of the week once that snow on the ground can start to melt just a little bit. Here's the future weather. There's the disturbance coming through. Sort of clips by Chicago, maybe some northwest Indiana, lake effect snow continuing for you, also southern Michigan. So if you're making that drive, be aware of that. That continues through Monday afternoon. Maybe a few more flurries in behind that for us. So Monday, we'll call it cloudy with a chance of flurries at times. Not looking for a big snowfall out of this one, though, for Chicago. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and cold, 26 degrees, southwest winds, 10 to 15 miles an hour. So still a bit of a wind chill factor, especially through about noon tomorrow. As you commute home, the winds will lessen up and temperatures should be in the low 20s. By Tuesday, we have a lot of sunshine around here. We're in the upper 20s, and then in the middle of the week, things really moderate. We'll get to 35 degrees on Wednesday. This will be the first time we're above the freezing point since Christmas Day, where we had the low 40s. Then on Thursday, our temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, but this will be a real foggy, soupy day because as things start to melt, we'll really see a lot of that moisture at the surface. So we'll be tracking fog by the middle of the week as well. Temperatures are near the freezing point through the stretch. Here's the 10-day trend taking us into the 20th of January, where look at that. We're above the average line for the first time in a long time. Here's Mr. Speedway over at Chicagoland. He looked good, doesn't he? A lot of snowmen around, and that's going to be the case. They'll last much of the week. This is some snow riders, and we also had a snow hider in our freeze frame. This is Miss Perfect from Schaumburg. She has a little igloo, and hopefully her owner will get her out of there by the time the middle of the week comes. And I think a lot of people have had this view. Country Club Hills, Theresa sent that one in. So thanks for all the freeze frames. We appreciate it. And let the meltdown begin.
All right. Amy Freeze.
Please, thank you.
See you.